welcome you watching NewsX with me, Devika Devan. For nearly 3 years, viewers, we have watched a massive, incredibly messy diplomatic war play out between India and Canada. It started with a shocking accusation from then Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, who stood up and told the world that the Indian government was behind the assassination of Hardeep Singh Nijjar in British Columbia. Well, tonight, that entire narrative has been completely turned on its head. A massive global law enforcement sweep called Operation Hardball was just unsealed by the US Department of Justice. And the actual evidence shows something completely different from what we were told. Hardeep Singh Nijjar wasn't killed by government spies. He was executed on the orders of international drug cartels and local gang leaders. Let's take a look now at who is actually being charged here. Federal prosecutors have indicted 37 people, and right at the top of the list is a man whose name should be very familiar to the people in India, Lawrence Bishnoi, the notorious gangster who has actually been running a multi-million-dollar criminal empire from a prison cell in India using smuggled phones. Alongside him is his top guy, North America, Goldie Brar, who is currently a fugitive on the run. The US indictment says and also lays out how these guys were running hundreds of kilograms of cocaine and meth across the US-Canada border using long-haul semi-trucks and using that drug money to fund targeted hits and extort local businesses. The other names in the paperwork are guys like Ravinder Singh Dhanda, Jaskaran Bagri, Gurtej Singh Smag, who are all local handlers based right out of British Columbia, running the logistics on the ground. Now think about how this is a massive shift from 2023. Let's go back to September 18, 2023. Then Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau stood up in the House of Commons and ignited a diplomatic wildfire, claiming there was quote-unquote credible intelligence linking Indian state agents to the killing of Nijjar outside a Surrey Gurdwara. Back then, the accusations completely froze relations between New Delhi and Ottawa. Trade talks stopped dead. Canada expelled top Indian diplomats. We had leaked intelligence reports hitting the Western media, claiming without a shred of public evidence that India's Home Minister, imagine that's the extent of the accusations. They said India's Home Minister orchestrated the hit and hinted that India's Prime Minister knew about it. The US also stepped in, saying Five Eyes intelligence backed up Canada's claims. India was essentially branded a rogue state. I want you to listen in to what happened then versus what's happening now.
Over the past number of weeks, Canadian security agencies have been actively pursuing credible allegations of a potential link between agents of the government of India and the killing of a Canadian citizen, Hardeep Singh Nijjar.
Well, I can comment, David, as you're aware, there's current people in Canada that are facing charges on that, so I can't comment in relation to that investigation, but I can say, as you know, there's ongoing. In relation to this matter today, as stated in the press conference, there's no evidence to suggest that through this organized crime investigation and the charges and the indictment laid forward, that Indian officials were charged or involved in this event.